Harris here in Atlantic City. Al Bernstein along with Dave Von Tempo. A couple of youngsters in this matchup, and for the particulars, let's go up to Michael Buffer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the super welterweight division. This bout scheduled for 6 rounds. The referee for this contest is Robert Palmer. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red, white, and green trunks, and weighing in at an even 151 pounds from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, West Philly to be exact. He brings a professional record of 5 victories with 1 defeat, 1 draw, and 1 KO to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, Boxing Billy Mastrangelo. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the solid black trunks, weighing in at 153 pounds from Jersey City, New Jersey. He's 2-1-1 as a professional, 1 KO to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, a different kind of gentleman, Carney DiGiovanni.
All right, fellas, you guys know the rules. I want a clean fight. Touch him up now. Come on out of the bell.
There's Giovanni, who is a different kind of gentleman. What kind exactly is that? Billy, who doesn't want to be a gentleman. He'd like to win. We head into round 1. These are actually super welterweights, I guess, because they're fighting over the welterweight limit. And a reminder still to come. Ricky Myers and Roland Cummings, a couple of junior welterweights who would like to move themselves into the upper echelon of that division where Vince Phillips is now. Mastrangelo, we saw against Earl Williams back in January at the Blue Horizon in a really exciting fight. Then he fought Joe Frazier Jr. here in Atlantic City, a draw which he hotly disputes, feels he definitely won that one.
And he's starting this fight with a fury. He's not known as a knockout puncher, only 1 in 7 fights, but he's had DiGiovanni off balance a couple times, and his right hands are getting home.
DiGiovanni had a good amateur career, 23-year-old, but as a pro, he has had some fits and starts because of management problems. But his last fight in October of last year, Jorge Flores knocked him out in 1 round. He is taking some punches from Mastrangelo.
I don't think we'll see too much of the sweet science in this bout here. It should be bombs away because both fighters believe the other fighter doesn't have a big punch, and their confidence should be up.
I want to mention Michael Buffer, who you see every week here on Top Rank Boxing, is featured this week. A nice article on him in Sports Illustrated. Let's get ready to rumble is the title of the article, and Michael has certainly been around for all the major fights in the last 10 years and got his start here on Top Rank Boxing. So congratulations to Michael for the nice piece in SI.
Did that run alongside the piece on us? or did ours get cut?
Ours was right next to it. Under a minute left to go here in round 1. Mastrangelo in the multicolored, the Italian colors, and DiGiovanni is in black.
Get out here.
And Billy has had a very good first round. Mastrangelo has landed most of what he wanted to land, some with some authority.
DiGiovanni still searching to try to find some kind of a rhythm here. Has not been able to settle in yet.
Nice overhand right by DiGiovanni. We'll be back with round 2. This one could be fun. Turn for round 2 here in Atlantic City between Billy Mastrangelo in the multicolored trunks and Mark DiGiovanni in the black trunks. And there is round 1, a little closer than you might have imagined.
Mastrangelo got the power shots in. And in between rounds, lectured by some pretty good forces. Tony Suero, who was once a fairly good middleweight, and Carmen Graziano, who has managed several good fighters and just came out of open heart surgery, which was about 7 weeks ago, and he's now back on the circuit.
Good for him. We're happy to see comment around that Tony Suero, for those of you that have been watching Top Rank Boxing for a long time, since back in the old days when my hair was darker, you know that Tony Suero had some real wars here in the ESPN. Was in some of our early tournaments. It's been a while since you and I worked together, Jay.
These reunions are great.
I'm kind of misty-eyed.
We'll just have to do it more often.
I think that's definitely a plan. A minute into round 2. A couple of super welterweights. They're really welterweights. They're fighting over the welterweight limit. Mastrangelo going with the jab.
Mastrangelo loading up on the right hand, and DiGiovanni trying to make his left hook short and concise, and it was there. He got inside that looping right hand and did some good damage.
This one is scheduled for 6 in the second round now. Short right by Mastrangelo as DiGiovanni came in, and now Billy again lands the right hand.
And if Mastrangelo progresses, watch and see if he makes some more moves with that right hand. He landed a good right hand falling away. He wants to get some moves to go with that.
That is most of his arsenal right now.
He's just pouring the jab out there to get a little bit of better distance for his right hand.
Again, the right lands by Billy. Billy, a 19-year-old. DiGiovanni is 23. So these are youngsters. Under a half minute left to go in round 2, and it has been an interesting battle. Fought on fairly even terms, though in this round it looks like Mastrangelo has taken control a bit. So round 2 goes into the books. We'll be back for 3 in just a moment. And here, this young man, Billy Mastrangelo, would like to become a star in the boxing world. He's in against Mark DiGiovanni. And they are a couple of young welterweights trying to make their way. Boy, look at, again, that's interesting. DiGiovanni gets the edge. I'm
He
a little
gets
shocked
the
at
edge.
that.
I was a little hesitant. I gave that round to Mastrangelo. If you're scoring at home, you know how you had it. And if it comes out different than you expected, go back to round 2. And that's a key in this fight.
Yeah, very interesting. That's a round that, you know, a lot of times when you're just sitting here and you're paying attention, of course, but you're not counting each punch. It's difficult to assume who's actually landing more blows. There is your card, Dave.
After a close second round for Mastrangelo.
Mastrangelo landing the right hand.
DiGiovanni trying to assume a territorial edge here in the third now. Moving forward, starting to jab a little bit more, and back Mastrangelo off. He's got those bobbing arms up for a defense that DiGiovanni does, and Mastrangelo should try to go to the body just below the elbows to try to get that in there, because the uppercut is being blocked and the jab is also being blocked by those close defenses.
The counter right by Mark. Mark DiGiovanni has gotten that right hand in from time to time. He has been sparring with Buddy McGirt, the welterweight champion. Can't get much better sparring than that, that's for sure.
Especially at such a young age. I mean, it's one thing when you're near main event status and you spar with these guys and they give you a little bit, but for somebody so young, you pick up a wealth of knowledge. It's another world.
Now, Mastrangelo off to a pretty good start this round. Well, we're near the close of it, but I mean, I think he's had a pretty good round 3, but I hate to even speak until I see those punch numbers.
And the assessment will really be the key in the interpretation of the power shots.
No, I'm going to go out on a limb. Even before I see those punch numbers, I'm going to say that Billy's having a good round. What do you think? How's that for conviction?
Rolling the dice.
Under a half minute left to go in round 3. DiGiovanni doing the chasing now, but Billy Mastrangelo is landing some pretty good counter shots. Well, we've reached the halfway point in this battle. Got a half left to go. Stay with us. Round 4 in this super welterweight encounter between Mark DiGiovanni in the black trunks and Billy Mastrangelo. He is in the multicolored trunks. These are a couple of youngsters. Billy is 19 and Mark is 23, who are in what is referred to as the swing fight here, which is a fight that can get on sometimes and sometimes won't. And there's a lot of pressure when you're a youngster, not knowing if you're going to be exposed to the television lights and the big audience. And then when you're put in that position at a young age, it's not too easy to handle.
No, plus how do you handle the warming up aspect? You want to be warm and get yourself psyched before you go into the ring, and it's a hard thing to time. Sometimes fighters have said they've gotten warmed up 3 or 4 times and never gotten on, and then been a walkout fight at the end. And on the other side of it, although it's tense and pressure, it's good opportunity for these kids, a growing experience.
Yeah, it's kind of like a relief pitcher that keeps getting prepared and may or may not see action. Boxing, obviously, though, a little bit different because if you're not ready, you can pay a steeper price. Over a minute gone here in round 4. Mastrangelo has been boxing pretty well in this match, Dave, but maybe hasn't been as consistent with the jab as he would like to do.
I don't think he's finishing off his punches the way he would like to do it, and therefore leaving the door open for DiGiovanni, who tactically has pushed him around and gotten a lot of the better of it. Whether he's getting the punches in is a different story. Right now on the numbers, I would say I don't think so, but it's probably still close.
A moment ago, you saw a reminder that Roland Cummings and Ricky Myers, our main event, is still upcoming, along with the feature on the show that I know you all look forward to, and that is Ringside Report. We'll preview the Holyfield-Holmes bout for you. And we have some other boxing news in addition to a guide that is chock full of fights. Minute left to go here in round 4. Scheduled for 6. Al Bernstein, Dave Von Tempo in Atlantic City. Mastrangelo landing a right hand. And you're right, Dave. DiGiovanni has done some manhandling, but the question is he landing the more effective punches and more of them?
May have a different opinion among the judges for that. He's getting it close, but he's getting over the top with the right hand. First fighter who wants to put punches together can win this, and DiGiovanni finally gets some combinations together.
He has been mostly a singular puncher, throwing one punch at a time.
A lot of fighters, when they go over the top and miss, take a long time to reload.
So round 4 is history, and we're approaching the end of this 6-rounder.
And even though he misses the subsequent follow-ups, he pushes Mastrangelo back and out of the offense.
We head into round 5. It is scheduled for 6. Billy Mastrangelo in the white, green, and blue, or white trunks, the Italian poison. Mark DiGiovanni in the black trunks. And there are the total punches before. It's pretty close.
And the 20-punch edge by Mastrangelo, and the punches thrown pretty similar. I think that's a very good indication of where the scoring is in this fight.
Mark DiGiovanni came in at 2-1, 1 KO, and Mastrangelo is 5-1-1. We mentioned that we saw him on Top Rank Boxing some months ago at Blue Horizon in an exciting match with Earl Williams. That was fun, and we'll be back at Blue Horizon in a couple of weeks on June 25th. Barry Tompkins will return from his trek through Europe, where he was there for the French Open. There is your scoring.
Mastrangelo with a nice edge, and DiGiovanni capturing the last round. Now, based on the records of the fighters, this should have been a brawl. Neither fighter has a knockout record, but the arms of DiGiovanni held out. He's gangly, he's been tying up, he's had his elbows up high. It has blocked the rhythm of Mastrangelo in this fight, and it has slowed it down.
They've been working on defense, they say, with DiGiovanni, and to some extent that those lessons may be paying off.
It has cost him on his attack, but sometimes it's a growing pain that a fighter in his camp will endure. for the overall benefit of getting better. DiGiovanni's hands are up high to throw a right hand sometimes.
Minute left to go in round 5. Counter hook by DiGiovanni. Mastrangelo at boxing, but how effectively remains to be seen. He's throwing punches, but neither man, I don't think, is going to have a great connect percentage here in round 5.
For Mastrangelo, a left hook to the body and a head would go perfectly against that defense, but he can't seem to find it.
Counter right gets in by Mark, and Mark lands a good left uppercut.
Get out. Step back. Break. Step back.
So the round in which Mastrangelo has boxed fairly effectively, did he get the big edging punches though? A lot were missed, a lot were blocked. We'll see. That'll do it for round 5. And of course, baseball action continues here on ESPN with the Sunday night matchup between the Dodgers and the Reds in the West. That is at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, exclusive national coverage right here on ESPN. Dodgers and the Reds battling it out in the National League Western Division, and that division is up for grabs.
The Dodgers doing a lot better without Eric Davis and Darryl Strawberry than people thought they would do, and the Reds starting to find it now.
They could have saved, what, about $6-7 million this year and gone with the outfield.
Gone with the youth movement.
Yeah. Well, anyway, those two will be back, I'm sure, and contribute. There's a look at Mark DiGiovanni. And that's Billy Mastrangelo as we head into the 6th and final round. It's been a spirited battle, Doug, through the first 5. And the jury is probably still out on this one.
I would think so. And the fight really does not boil down to technique now as far as the finish. It's all will. There are no more secrets. There are no adjustments that can be made. These fighters are who they are. And it's just going to be who wants to pound it faster to the finish line.
In the 5th round, they're the narrowest of edges for Mastrangelo, and that's been so typical of these rounds, him throwing more punches, but DiGiovanni landing at a little better percentage.
And I gave DiGiovanni the round. The power shots don't come into those numbers there, so it's very close. DiGiovanni went his body well at the end.
We could easily be headed toward a split decision.
One of those fights when you score, you just can't feel good about some of them, the way you look at it, because it's so tight.
And on these kinds of fights, I don't think anyone quarrels with close decisions or even split decisions that might not go the way you feel they should. From the obvious ones, you get a little wide divergence of judges. And we've seen plenty of that in the last couple of months for top-ranked fights. The hook gets there by DiGiovanni. Either of these men are huge punchers, and that's been evident. Halfway through round 6, the final round of this matchup. Remember, our main event's still upcoming. Ricky Myers, you've seen him before here on ESPN, the entertaining boxer, against Roland Cummings. And before that, we'll have Ringside Report. Watching David Letterman the other night, and on his monologue, he was shadow boxing. He had good technique, Dave. Arsenio says he wants to kick Jay Leno's butt. I think NBC should put Letterman in the match. He had good style.
First of all, David goes to his left a lot better than Arsenio does. Arsenio's an syndication.
And it's a better height matchup than Jazz and reach. So, David, if you're listening, we think you should take on Arsenio. In the meantime, Billy Mastrangelo still moving, still boxing, and still trying to use his hand and foot speed against Mark DiGiovanni. And to the extent that he's done it well, we'll find out in this decision. It really is going to be a difficult one to judge.
Yeah, it looks like DiGiovanni has taken the play away in the second half of the fight, but it will come down to which punches the judges felt landed. And We see DiGiovanni opening up with combinations as he goes forward. Mastrangelo has been falling back, trying to get his best work in, going around the sides a lot and being tied up. And it's been a good finish for DiGiovanni.
Well, who won this one match? Who won this match? Your guess is as good as mine and Dave's. Could be either man. That'll do it. Mastrangelo a little distressed about being hit after the bell, but that didn't look too blatant.
Could be either man, could be neither man.
That's true. He could easily be headed toward a draw here. A couple of young men who were a little more disciplined in a way than you might have expected them to be.
Yeah, the pace of the fight slowed down a lot by the fact that DiGiovanni made it that way with his highly held hands and very patient style, and Mastrangelo had to adapt to that. Mastrangelo got off the mark first and got out fast. It's a matter of when DiGiovanni took over.
And in a couple of weeks, I mentioned we'd be at the Blue Horizon. Rodney Moore, very good junior welterweight. Boy, we have a lot of junior welterweights lately against Ramon Zavala. Always fun to go do the fight at the Blue Horizon. That is Thursday, June 25th at 9 p.m. Eastern. So join us then. We'll be taking a week off next week, but we're going to have a lot of coverage of the Holyfield Holmes fight for you on SportsCenter, which we'll detail a little bit later. That is DiGiovanni awaiting the decision, and Billy Mastrangelo. Both men looked a little bit concerned. I think they know this could go either way.
And Mastrangelo didn't have a very good second half of the fight. And when you look at the numbers, how close the second and the fifth rounds were, only a 3-punch difference, it could be critical.
All right, Michael Buffer's got the scorecards. Let's go to him right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at Harrah's Atlantic City, we go to the scorecards. Eva Shane scores about 57-57. She has it even. Richard Strange scores at 59-55. Tommy Kazmarek has it 58-56 for the winner by majority decision. Boxing Billy Mastrangelo.
Well, boxing was the key word. He boxed his way to a victory. Ringside Report is next. Don't you go away. Whoa. And we are getting set for our main event. Roland Cummings and Ricky Myers. And Ricky Myers, a young man who they thought was destined for stardom, hit a detour, but he hopes he'll still get there.
When Ricky Myers is right, the pace is fast. It was real fast when Myers halted Juan Rivera with speed to the body. Rivera did not escape the second. Myers also wasted no time sending Mickey Ward a message. This time he couldn't get a quick verdict. Ward was tough enough to endure Myers' combinations and answer. Myers still captured a decision. After losing to Fernando Sanchez, Myers needed a big effort against Ray Oliveira. It did not come easy as Oliveira found Myers there to be hit. Oliveira made a good bid for victory, but Myers was more consistent. After 10 rounds, judges gave Myers a much-needed split decision win. And tonight, he looks to make it 2 in a row.
And there he is, Ricky Myers, getting set for what he hopes will be a winning effort against Roland Cummings. There is Roland. Roland is a young man who